Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal astrology forecast. This is for Monday, September 17th, 2018. All right, so today we have not a whole lot going on astrologically, but it's been a very impactful sort of time. So we'll do a quick weekly recap. Today we do have the moon shifting into a Sagittarius, so themes likely shifting from more of the deeper stuff maybe we felt over the weekend, now into a bit of the expansive stuff. After the transformation, maybe feeling a bit spirited and adventurous. So good for that stuff. The sun is making its way into Virgo, so we'll likely notice a shift this early part of the week into integrating now for the next month plus this focus on how things can be improved, embittered, refined, really getting into this detailed analytical aspect of ourself. And other than that, as we get into tomorrow, Mars is going to be squaring up to Uranus. So maybe this early part of the week, some tension, feeling like we want to break free. But it's nothing new here. We've had this energy since May. So it is the final cultivation of maybe making some changes that does bring in more freedom in our life. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this Monday. So again, we are using the actual size of the constellations called True Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out that link down below for more information because the signs are different from mainstream astrology. All right, so today the moon shifting out of the deeper energies of Scorpio and Ophiuchus, which we had over the weekend, passing over the galactic center here Sunday night, coming into Monday. So this transformed energy is usually how we feel this. Now do give it time. About midday for most of us, the moon is still just making its way into Sag. But certainly as the day unfolds, more of this free-spirited type of energy. So the moon represents the theme of the day. So really good for becoming aware of if there is anything that we can expand our horizons with, broaden our perspective with, and cultivate these things, have this perspective, because we could be feeling emotionally secure when we are accessing things with this sort of spirit for life, top-down perspective, maybe adventurousness, maybe philosophical, discussing larger things from that overall life perspective, these types of things. All right, so great for this with the moon here. Now, in terms of the sun was finishing Leo over the weekend, so now is officially in Virgo here this Monday. So we'll start to feel this early part of the week more of this Virgo qualities. And so this will be for the next month plus, because Virgo is a very large constellation, so a very long time for the sun to transit here. And so we're starting to now acclimate to this energy. So really good to notice if you do notice that your focus is shifting. Maybe from more of the Leo stuff, which is more about what gives us energy, passion, life force, which is still kind of the case because Mercury is still finishing up. But if you're noticing more of the focus on what can be refined and improved, embittered, right? How can we view life through this lens, right? And cultivate some of this Virgo energy, which is that sort of detail-oriented aspect of ourselves, to see what requires self-discipline, to then work on, right? To do the work with. This could be with ourselves. Self-improvement is always great with Virgo. It could also be with our environment and our life in general. What can be fixed, improved, right? Finding solutions to things, organizing things, focusing on the details, really good. And the purpose of Virgo is to refine. So anything that does move towards refinement of ourself, our environment, really good way of working with this Virgo energy. And it really hasn't been that new. We've had Venus transiting Virgo for about a month now. So we've already been sort of seeing the value of this past month, and probably been seeing how this energy does unfold regarding our relationships. Maybe we've been connecting in this sort of way in our relationships. So that's still very much the case with Venus finishing up Virgo there. All right, so that leaves Mars to talk about. Mars did his retrograde this year, and so now he's making his way back into Capricorn. So we will likely notice a little bit more of this earthy energy as well when we're relating or regarding interpersonal stuff. But in this case, it's noticing how things do take time regarding our goals and regarding the things we want and our desires in life, right? They take time and discipline. And we've learned a lot about this during the past month plus during this whole retrograde of this sort of area. Now, what's important about this today, however, is that Mars is going to start to square up to Uranus. Actually, you may have felt this over the weekend, but it's going to go exact tomorrow, okay? So maybe quite strong today. Again, maybe as the day unfolds, but more so tomorrow. This square to Uranus can be about feeling a bit restricted with that Mars energy. All right, so Mars is, again, our desires, the things we want. And in a square, it usually means some sort of clash with that. And with Uranus, the clash here is that there's this side of ourself that does want to break free, does want to create freedom with some aspect of our life. Maybe cultivate our future ideals, right? What are our ideals, right? And these types of things. And then again, we've already been working on this since May. So if you do want to think back to if there's been anything since about mid-May, it was May 16th, and then maybe took another step in the right direction in early August, August 1st, and now could be finalizing this week regarding some breakthroughs, regarding taking some action to create some changes. This could be the final culmination of that here this week. All right, so it's still a little bit early here on Monday, but good to, again, acclimate to the energy, feel it. If there is anything that you do feel like you want to maybe make some changes with, break through with, it's good to do so in conscious ways and with intention, because this collectively can feel like a bit of irritability, right? Rashness, impulsiveness, perhaps. And so when we're conscious of it, then it does come out in healthy ways. So what are some intentions we can set, some actions we can take to create healthy change, right? And constructive change and freedom. And again, freedom so that our life or these desires, these things we want, do reflect our true self. All right, so I'll talk a little more on that tomorrow, but yeah, probably feeling that today, and some minor lunar aspects today. The moon is going to be going over Saturn. So this is all about these perspectives, right? We have the moon in Sagittarius today, so the theme is about, again, broadening our horizons. Very important today and tomorrow. And so going over Saturn, this has been this year of really grounding these perspectives. So maybe a new chapter with how some of these potentials, again, maybe take time, or perspectives take time. Really good to ground our view of things, have that larger perspective, but also grounding that, right? And seeing what does take work and what does require the earthy aspects of action and things like that, and discipline with Saturn. But Saturn's been in very good aspect this year, so that does involve a trine up to Uranus. Moon will be trining Uranus today, so with that structure, maybe again, feeling a bit free. In this case, probably a freedom of self-expression, freedom of being our true self today. And with the moon sextiling Venus on a minor note, even more minor note, maybe this flow in our interpersonal connections, and just probably a bit of receptivity in them. All right, so that's the day in a nutshell. Most important thing, however, is probably this Mars squaring Uranus energy. Again, going to go exact tomorrow, but it is certainly within orb. And so as the day unfolds, seeing how we can have constructive changes and freedom so our life does reflect more of our true self. And in the context today of the moon in Sagittarius, broadening our perspective, staying grounded with it with Saturn, but still nonetheless seeing how our perspective does influence and change our reality, right? And our potentials and our future. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for the daily forecast.